Leading an all-out war against COVID-19, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs task force meet to discuss progress in India's efforts in vaccine development, drug discovery, diagnosis and testing. Over 30 Indian vaccines are in different stages of vaccine development, with few going on to trial stages. The biggest ever evacuation exercise by air and sea begins tomorrow to bring back nearly 15,000 Indians stranded abroad, 64 flights and 3 naval ships to ferry them back from 13 countries in 7 days, only asymptomatic passengers allowed to travel. Group of ministers led by Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan holds COVID-19 review meeting for 14th time since February. Had in-depth deliberation on containment strategy and management aspects of COVID-19, as well as the measures being taken by the centre and various states. Centre says no examination to be held for CBSE Class 10 board exams for 2020 nationwide, except for students from Northeast Delhi. JEE mains to be held from 18 to 23rd July, NEET to be conducted on 26 July, JEE advanced exam to be conducted in August. Total active cases of COVID-19 in India stand at 33,514, while 14,182 have been discharged. 1,694 casualties recorded so far. Coronavirus cases across the world stand at over 36 lakhs, more than 2,57,000 deaths reported so far. US reports more than 12 lakh people infected with COVID-19 and nearly 71,000 fatalities. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukma, and here we are once again on DD News, bringing you all the latest updates as the pandemic of coronavirus continues its grip on nearly 180 countries across the world. In India, well, a massive evacuation plan is in place to begin from tomorrow onwards, even as migrant laborers, 2 trains with migrant laborers taking them home have left their stations. Well, in our top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a meeting on Tuesday of the task force on corona vaccine development, drug discovery, diagnosis and testing. The Prime Minister took a detailed review of the current status of India's efforts in vaccine development, drug discovery, diagnosis and testing. Over 30 Indian vaccines are in different stages of corona vaccine development, with a few going on to the trial stages. Similarly, in drug development, 3 approaches are being taken. First, the repurposing of existing drugs. Secondly, the development of new candidate drugs, and molecules are being driven by linking high-performance computational approach with lab verification. Thirdly, plant extracts and products are being examined for general antiviral properties. In diagnosis and testing, several academic research institutions and startups have developed new tests. The review by the Prime Minister took note of the extraordinary coming together of academia, industry and government, combined with speedy but efficient regulatory process. The PM desired that such coordination and speed should be embedded into a standard operating procedure. He emphasized that what is possible in a crisis should be a part of our routine way of scientific functioning. PM Modi suggested that a hackathon be held on the subject, linking computer science to synthesis and testing in the laboratory. Successful candidates from the hackathon could be taken up by startups for further development and scaling up. He added that the innovative and original manner in which Indian scientists from basic to applied sciences have come together with industry is heartening. This kind of pride, he said, originality and sense of purpose should dominate our approach going ahead. It is only then that we can be amongst the best in the world and not followers in science. It's called the Vande Bharat mission and is all set for takeoff from tomorrow. Standard operating procedures for the world's biggest ever evacuation plan have been worked out. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has announced the first phase will commence over 1 week starting from Thursday, under which 64 flights will be operated. Lists of evacuees have been prepared by Indian missions abroad and the flights would have reasonable charges. Under the mission, the flights between 14 Indian cities and 12 foreign countries will bring back 14,800 people in the first phase.
Comprehensive plan has been drawn up to address the particular issue of those of our citizens who find themselves distressed and have been stranded in foreign countries. Let me just give you an indication of the number of flights that we are planning to mount during the first week of the resumption or the commencement of this operation. And I mean the period between May 7 to May 13th. We have worked out those details, and these involve 10 flights from the UAE, 2 flights from Qatar, 5 flights from Saudi Arabia, 7 flights from the United Kingdom, 5 flights from Singapore, 7 flights from the United States, 5 flights from Philippines, 7 flights from Bangladesh, 2 flights from Bahrain, 7 flights from Malaysia, 5 flights from Kuwait, and 2 flights from Oman. This brings the total number of flights that will be operated during the first week to 64.
The Indian Navy too has launched Operation Samudra Setu, meaning sea bridge, as part of the national effort to repatriate Indian citizens from overseas. Indian naval ships Jalashwa and Magar are presently en route to the port of Malé in the Maldives to begin operations from 8th May as part of Phase 1. The Indian mission there is preparing a list of Indian nationals to be evacuated. A total of 1,000 persons are to be evacuated on the first trip. The ships have been suitably provisioned for the operation with all basic amenities and medical facilities during the sea passage. Stringent protocols have also been stipulated. The evacuees will disembark at Kochi and be taken care of by state authorities. The operation is being progressed in close coordination with Ministries of Defence, External Affairs, Home Affairs, Health and various other agencies of the Government of India and state governments. Indian missions in the Gulf nations are working overtime to facilitate the evacuation of Indian nationals. Our correspondent Kanchan Prasad has more details.
Amidst the global pandemic, the Indian missions in the Gulf countries are preparing for a major operation for the evacuation of the Indian citizens, the distressed Indian citizens, from 7th of May 2020. The consulate officials, the embassy officials, along with the community participation and volunteers are working day and night on a war footing, I would say, to prepare the list of the distressed citizens. Priority is being given to the workers in distress, the pregnant women, those who are elderly, those who require urgent medical attention, and others who are stranded in difficult conditions. The embassy consulate is in the process of contacting people through emails and phone calls. For the Gulf countries, in the next 1 week, 25 flights will be made operational. 10 from UAE, 5 each from Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, and 2 each from Oman, Bahrain and Qatar. Close to 5,000 Indians stranded in these countries amidst the coronavirus outbreak are expected to return. Airlines will follow the standard operating procedures, and only those people will be allowed to travel who are found asymptomatic.
And let's now take a look at the latest update of COVID-19 cases from across the country. Active cases across India have gone up to 33,514 as per the latest update. 14,182 people have been cured or discharged till date, while 1,694 people have lost their life. Maharashtra continues to be the hardest hit with a total of 15,525 cases. Gujarat has reported 6,245 cases, while 5,104 cases have been reported from Delhi. The 14th meeting of the high-level group of ministers on COVID-19 was held on Tuesday in New Delhi. A detailed presentation on the present status of the cases globally and within the country was made to the GOM, chaired by Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan. The GOM had in-depth deliberation on containment strategies and management aspects of the pandemic, as well as the measures being taken by the centre and various states. The GOM was apprised that as of now, the death rate is around 3.2%, recovery rate is more than 25%, which may be taken as a positive effect of the lockdown in the country, along with the cluster management and containment strategies. The Hyderabad-based Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology will attempt to grow novel coronavirus in human cell lines, which will enable in vitro testing of potential drugs and vaccines against COVID-19. The research team will use iStem's human lung epithelial cell culture system, provided as part of its anti-COVID screening platform, to understand the molecular and pathological characteristics of novel coronavirus, with a view to establish a rational basis for testing potential drugs in vitro. According to Rakesh Mishra, Director CCMB, culturing the virus outside the human host is a technological challenge that needs to be overcome. iStem cell culture system expresses the ACE2 receptor and other genes that are key determinants of viral entry and replication. CCAMP is an initiative of the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. iStem is working to democratize access to cell therapy, as well as disease modeling platforms, and bring their benefit to a large section of humanity. The government has said that the Food Corporation of India has sufficient stocks in its godowns, even after meeting the requirement of additional wheat and rice, provided free of cost during the lockdown period. FCI currently has 276 lakh tons of rice and 353 lakh tons of wheat. Hence, a total of 630 lakh tons of food grain stock is available. Under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, the centre is providing 5 kg of free food grains per month to 80 crore ration card holders. This free of cost wheat and rice will be provided for 3 months. Besides, 1 kg of pulses will also be supplied per family. This is over and above the normal quota of 5 kg of food grains provided per month per person to about 80 crore people under the food law. The government has informed that since the lockdown, nearly 69.52 lakh tons of food grains have been transported through 2,483 rail rakes. Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has announced that the joint entrance examination JEE mains will be held from 18 to 23rd July, while the JEE Advance will be held in August. Interacting with students from across the country, the HRD minister said the dates of these exams will be announced soon. Nishank also said the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test NEET will be held on 26th July. And the HRD minister also informed that no exams will be held for CBSE Class 10 or for 2020 nationwide, except for students from Northeast Delhi. He also said that exams for 12th class will be conducted only for 29 main subjects. The exams were postponed due to the lockdown imposed in the country to combat COVID-19. And Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held a COVID-19 review meeting with the chairpersons of 11 committees to discuss the current situation. And the developers of the Arogya Setu app have issued a statement saying that there was no security vulnerability in the contact tracing application. In a statement issued on Twitter, Arogya Setu said that they are continuously testing and upgrading the systems, and no personal information of any user has been proven to be at risk. The team assured everyone that no data or security breach has been identified. The government has mandated public sector and private employees who go to offices to download the app, as also people who are in the containment zone, localized areas where there is a COVID-19 positive case detected. And busting all rumors regarding a form in circulation on WhatsApp groups with the title "Rescue Flights from India for Stranded Indians," the government has affirmed that it has not issued any such form. It has also advised people to abstain from clicking on the links given and register only from official websites of respective embassies. Amid lockdown over COVID-19, various organizations are coming forward to play their part in helping people tackle the situation. The Trivandrum Corporation Employees Union distributed nearly 25,000 grow bags to the public in order to promote vegetable farming during the lockdown. In tribal-dominated regions in Maharashtra's Nashik district, ASHA workers are working round the clock to spread awareness about coronavirus. These workers have been carrying out door-to-door awareness drives, giving lessons on hand washing, social distancing, and wearing a mask as a precaution. Since the inception of coronavirus, since news and reports of the virus came out of China's Wuhan city, the virus has spiraled. So far, it has 180 countries in its grip. Talking about the infection toll, the total number of confirmed cases among people now stand at nearly 36,63,824. 2,57,288 have succumbed to it. However, countries adopted lockdown to prevent the spread, and many countries have extended the lockdown, seeing its impact. Others are gearing back to normalcy with the adoption of social distancing measures. In the United States, the Trump administration has initiated talks on winding down the White House task force on coronavirus and gradually delegating its responsibilities to the relevant federal agencies. The U.S. President confirmed that the White House coronavirus task force will be winding down as the country moves into a second phase of dealing with the aftermath of the outbreak. The death toll from the pandemic has surpassed 71,000 in the U.S., with more than 12,03,673 cases of infection. The death toll there is the highest in the world.
We can't keep our country closed for the next 5 years. You know, you could say there might be a recurrence, and there might be, and you know, most doctors or some doctors say that it will happen, and it'll be a flame, and we're going to put the flame out. We've learned a lot. You know, we've learned a lot about the coronavirus. We've learned a lot about this hidden enemy. It's a dangerous enemy. It's a bad enemy.
And the UK now has the highest number of coronavirus deaths in Europe. According to the latest government figures, there have been 29,501 deaths recorded due to COVID-19 across the UK. The latest total for Italy, previously the highest in Europe, now stands at 29,315. Both Italy and the UK record the deaths of people who have tested positive for coronavirus. Meanwhile, France reported just a few numbers short, 25,537 due to the coronavirus, but the people in the hospital with the infection and those in intensive care units for the respiratory disease fell to their steepest on record. In China, meanwhile, youngsters in the global virus epicenter of Wuhan filed back to class this morning, wearing masks and walking in single file past thermal scanners. Senior school students in 121 institutions were back in front of chalkboards and digital displays for the first time since the city shut down in January. Teenagers sat at individual desks spaced a meter apart, seeing their teachers in the flesh after months of distance learning. Only senior students who are prepping for upcoming exams are back at school. Return dates have not yet been confirmed for junior and middle school students. And on a lighter note, nurses at St. Joseph's Hospital in the US danced away their stresses and strains as they celebrated the recovery and release of patient Armando Mendoza, who has spent the last 45 days battling the coronavirus there. Mendoza was greeted by nurses and hospital staff who helped him during his ordeal as he left the hospital. A music band on site provided music for the joyous nurses. And amid increasing grip of COVID-19 across some parts of the world and a loosening grip on other parts of the world, people are trickling back to Bangkok's famous Erawan Shrine amid relaxing coronavirus restrictions in the Thai capital, with the devout once again wishing for good health and fortune. The shrine was closed for more than a month, reopening with dancers once again performing in worshipping ceremonies in folk outfits with face shields as a precaution. And that's all we have in this edition of the news. As we go, we leave you with this video in which we give you glimpses as Bollywood celebrities Virat Kohli, Ayushmann Khurrana, Kriti Sanon and Sara Ali Khan pledged support in the fight against fake forwards on social media. The celebrities also urged people to stop forwarding videos which do not have verified information. Namaskar. Take a look.
यार मेरे कजन की वजह से ना पूरे घर में फैल
एक एक करके ना सब लोग इसके चपेट में आ जाएंगे।
एक लापरवाह टच से लाखों तक पहुंच जाता है।
और एक बार ये महामारी फैल गई ना बॉस, इसे कोई नहीं रोक सकता।
जी हाँ, हम बात कर रहे हैं उन फॉरवर्ड्स और वीडियोस की जो नफरत और अफवाहें फैलाते हैं। ये भी हमारे समाज का एक वायरस है।
उत्तर दिशा में सोने से डायबिटीज ठीक हो जाता है।
देखिए लोग कैसे देश को बर्बाद कर रहे हैं। ये वीडियो 10 लोगों को फॉरवर्ड कीजिए, गारंटी लड़का। ऐसा करने से ना कैंसर ठीक हो जाता है, वैसा करने से ना भूकंप आ जाता है। ऐसे वीडियोस और मैसेजेस फॉरवर्ड नहीं होने चाहिए और बनने भी नहीं चाहिए।
जब भी आपको कोई ऐसा वीडियो मिले, कोई ऐसा मैसेज दिखे जो आपको सही ना लगे,
अगर उससे किसी का नुकसान हो सकता है,
अगर सूचना सीधा गवर्नमेंट से नहीं है,
तो उसे मत कर फॉरवर्ड।
और देखोगे कि ऐसा करने से तुम सेफ रहोगे, लोग सेफ रहेंगे और देश सेफ रहेगा। तो
मत कर
फॉरवर्ड।
मत कर फॉरवर्ड।